Welcome back, everyone. Last time, we went through 6 upcoming films that are already making noise, and now it's time for part 2. This series is all about exploring the most anticipated movies of the near future, not just trailers, but the feeling, the tone, the promise each film holds. And trust me, this list is just as exciting as the first one. This is an honest look at what makes each movie worth waiting for, with my own thoughts, reactions, and yes, a little bit of personal taste mixed in. So let's dive into it. Here's part 2 of the top 6 upcoming movies you should definitely keep an eye on. Don't let the short title fool you. The sound looks like a deeply emotional sci-fi film with a very unusual premise. The story follows a woman who begins hearing a mysterious frequency that appears to come from beyond human perception. As she investigates, she discovers it might not be just a signal, but a message. The film balances between science and spirituality, exploring grief, connection, and the question of whether we're truly alone. The tone is soft, melancholic, and thoughtful, not full of special effects or loud action. It reminds me of films like Arrival or Contact, where the science is just a bridge to something far more personal. The trailer shows breathtaking landscapes, calm pacing, and gorgeous sound landscapes. This looks like a film for late-night thinkers and emotional audiences, not casual viewers. And honestly, there's always room for sci-fi that speaks to the heart instead of just the senses. Noise already feels like one of those Korean films that quietly become international hits. The story in a small town, strange frequencies begin to affect people's behavior. Fear turns into obsession, and soon reality starts to bend. What starts as a mystery slowly becomes psychological, philosophical, and yes, even a bit sci-fi. The visuals in the trailer are stunning: grainy textures, static screens, empty streets, surreal imagery. The sound design is everything: low hums, mechanical signals, and eerie silence used like a weapon. It feels similar to the vast of night mixed with a cure for wellness, but with that uniquely Korean emotional weight. There's no obvious villain. The enemy might be the sound itself, or maybe something inside us. This is not a loud movie. It's the kind that gets under your skin quietly. If you love slow-burn mysteries that make your brain itch, Noise should definitely be on your radar. If you've never seen V for Vendetta, now might be the perfect time. 2026 marks the film's 20th anniversary, and it's returning to theaters in an upgraded, restored version in 4K with enhanced sound and new curated materials. For those who haven't heard of it, this is a dystopian story about a masked vigilante leading a rebellion against a totalitarian government. But the power of the film is not in the action, it's in the ideas. Freedom, fear, rebellion, identity. These themes are more relevant today than ever. Every scene has a personality. Every line is a quote. Every mask became a symbol. And even if you watched it years ago, rewatching it in theaters, with a crowd, with restored visuals, is a completely different experience. It's rare for a movie to become a cultural icon, but this one did. And now it's returning, not as a nostalgic replay, but as a reminder that ideas are bulletproof. This one is for the action lovers, but not the muscles and explosions every 5 seconds kind. Hunting season follows a former soldier who becomes the target of an elite group of mercenaries after he witnesses something he wasn't supposed to. The story begins like a classic chase thriller, but the trailer hints at deeper themes: guilt, survival, moral limits. The cinematography is gritty, grounded, and uses natural light to increase realism. The action isn't messy or over-edited, it feels almost personal, like every punch and shot has weight. Think Jason Bourne meets First Blood, but set in modern times and with a more psychological edge. What I like is the vulnerability of the character. He's trained, but he's also scared, and that makes us root for him even more. This isn't about showing off, it's about pushing a broken person to the point where instinct takes over. It's not a revolutionary idea, but if executed right, this could be one of those underrated thrillers people talk about years later. Rosemead is one of those movies that doesn't scream for attention, it whispers, and somehow that makes it louder. The plot revolves around a seemingly normal Californian neighborhood where a series of strange events leads an ordinary man to uncover something darker than he could ever imagine. There's a crime, but it's not about the crime, it's about what it does to the people living around it. The trailer feels eerie without giving much away, which is honestly refreshing in a world where trailers spoil everything. There's a strong focus on atmosphere, warm colors by day, uneasy silence by night, and the contrast creates tension. The pacing looks slow, but in a deliberate, controlled way that lets paranoia grow little by little. I have a feeling this isn't about jump scares or violence, it's more psychological, more about the human mind when it starts to crack. It reminds me of films like Zodiac or Prisoners, where the real horror is not in what's shown, but in what might be hiding beneath the surface. Rosemead may not trend on TikTok, but it's likely to get under people's skin and stay there. If you've ever wondered how to make a biopic about one of the most iconic figures in pop culture, Michael might be the answer everyone's waiting for. This is the long-awaited biographical film about Michael Jackson, yes, the Michael Jackson, directed by Antoine Fuqua and starring Jaffer Jackson, Michael's own nephew. The story follows Michael's rise to global fame, but the film promises not to shy away from his personal struggles, controversies, and the weight of living under the world's microscope. From the trailer, it feels emotional, but not manipulative, more like a genuine attempt to understand the man behind the legend. The visuals are sharp, but not exaggerated, huge stages, private moments, family tension, it feels honest and grounded. This isn't just about showing concerts and iconic moves. It's about the price of becoming a symbol too big for one person. I appreciate that the director seems focused on storytelling over shock value, and honestly, that might be exactly what this story needs. Whether you're a lifelong fan or just curious, there's no denying that Michael will be one of 2026's most talked about films. It's one of those releases you don't just watch, you experience and reflect upon. And whether it's loved or debated, it's going to make an impact. And that's it, our second batch of upcoming films worth keeping on your radar. Make sure you watch part 1 if you haven't yet, and stay tuned for part 3, where we'll go even further with some of the most surprising titles ahead. Tell me in the comments which movie you're most curious about, or which one you already added to your calendar. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, because the best is still ahead.